Pep Guardiola is having an injury crisis at Man City, but not as that as it is at Manchester United. At Manchester United, they're having close to 11 absentees, and Pep Guardiola is having some players that are not going to face Belgrade Red Star as they play in the Champions League, as they start off their journey to defend the Champions League. Welcome to the Rokani Media Football. This is the Football News Show, and we're here to talk about Man City, the absentees for the game of Red Star Belgrade. Then Pep Guardiola is going to hate, obviously, hail Jeremy Doku for the work he's going to hate to do for Man City, and obviously putting them to the level where they found themselves really getting to where they deserve to be very, very soon, as they obviously have gone ahead to play 5 games and they've gone ahead to win all of them. They're having 15 points maximum collection from all the games, and Jeremy Doku was the one who leveled up the game as Man City played against West Ham. Remember, West Ham, we are the first to take a lead. Jude Bellingham is into the mix, and he has gone ahead to obviously collect his first award for the club of Real Madrid. And Xavi, playing in the Champions League tomorrow, has gone ahead and revealed to us what Barcelona are obviously vying to reach or achieve into their Champions League season. So let's see close to 200 likes much in this video, and don't forget to subscribe if you're only watching us for the very first time. Rokani David is mine. You can as well call me RD. You can follow me on all social media platforms. Rokani David is my name. Let's start it off with Man City and what Pep Guardiola told us today in the presser as they prepare to take on the side of Belgrade. He told us that Mateo Kovacic and Grealish are ruled out from Man City versus Red Star Belgrade in the UCL group stage, confirms Pep Guardiola. Now, it's not all that threatening, but it obviously puts you in the situation of asking yourself that, is the season going to be really filled with very many injuries? Do you know why? Players played a lot of football last season, you know, almost playing 2 games per week. They go in the World Cup. At the World Cup, they returned, played games, and for Man City, they played games until the 10th of June. That's when the Champions League finale was played, and they won it, and they've gone ahead to return back in high gear. So that leaves us in a situation that creates very many questions on whether this is the problem affecting these players. But for Man City, I think Kevin De Bruyne is the longest injury and bad injury they're really having. But the coming in of Jeremy Doku obviously offers them a very different option altogether from the left attacking side of the midfield. Then Kovacic being injured, that's another big blow, because when you look at how Man City really plays their beautiful game of football, it obviously rotates onto that double pivot of Rodri and Kovacic. And with Kevin De Bruyne out, that means they're going to bring in Calvin Phillips. I don't know whether he's going to come in through, because he's one of those players that the manager's not going to have to use for a very, very long time, and he's going to have to refer him as fat. So it shows you that while playing Red Star Belgrade, they might not feel this, but when they return to the Premier League, the competition is obviously going to be huge, and I don't know how Pep Guardiola is obviously going to go in for it, because when you look at Man City, they've had lots and lots of games to play, and they are really a team that every team wants to beat. And at this period, when they're really experiencing all this, you would want to think that 2 midfielders out obviously doesn't really give them a very good go for the game they're going to play on the weekend as they take on Nottingham Forest, and they're hosting Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest being a team that has physical players, it might obviously cause lots of havoc to them, and they need to pray to hard that Kovacic is back, because I know Calvin Phillips is going to be brought in, but has he gone ahead to really meet the levels of really playing into the Pep Guardiola team? That is the big question that we are waiting for Man City to obviously see whether they're going to answer it. But against Red Star Belgrade, they will obviously find themselves in a position of really beating them hands down. Now, after that, he obviously talked about Jeremy Doku. Jeremy Doku is one of those players that has gone ahead to really impress on the instant ever since he came in through at the club of Manchester City, and has gone ahead to obviously score his first goal for Man City as they played in the Premier League against a side called West Ham. That is it. So Pep Guardiola is going to hate to say the following about this player, and these were his words. When you are the winger against fullbacks and dribble, it's a chance. Sometimes you go back, you have to do it. Support for a winger to dribble to the byline is a chance. He does it a lot. I was impressed. He knew his qualities. So Jeremy Doku was going to hate to impress Mikel Arteta. And obviously, any manager will be impressed if at all your player really puts in such a performance at that level. And when we look at Jeremy Doku, he's that kind of player that is still young and he's still very ambitious. They've just signed him and he joined them for around, was it 50, 60 million euros? And he's that player that they may be needed to obviously try and see that he comes in through to compete with Jack Grealish. People would have seen him as a Riyad Mahrez replacement, but I don't believe he is, because they're having Bernardo Silva and Phil Foden, who can obviously play well into that position. So it's like they wanted to really strengthen the side of Jack Grealish, and Jeremy Doku arrived in at a very right period of time, because this guy was injured and Jeremy Doku came in through. He was going to hate to take on the mantle, and his drive, his drive into the final third of the pitch is very threatening, and he's really a very, very, very skilled player. He's pacey. He has a very beautiful touch, and he always does the needful when the team needs him. And I know he's obviously going to hit the ground running. He's going to be one of the best signings in the league, according to me. He's going to be that. He's going to be one of the best signings in the Premier League because of his energy and talent. And I like his decision making. What I was going to hate to kill off some players who play on the wide play or the wide forward role is them being too selfish. But this guy is not selfish. He obviously pulls up the trigger when it's called in for, and he obviously goes in for a cutback cross or a cross to look out for a player of Man City that is well positioned into the box of the opponent. That is it. So we wait and see how he's going to perform tomorrow against Red Star Belgrade, but I think he's obviously going to thrive, because Man City against Belgrade, you anticipate that they're going to obviously put some good shots and some good goals past them. So we come to the other guy, and this is Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham is going to head to obviously thrive at Real Madrid, and guess what? He has going to head to win his first award at Real Madrid, and that is him holding the award. That is Jude Bellingham, Real Madrid's man or player of the month of August is Jude Bellingham, as you see him there holding that award. And all what is going to hate to achieve has going to hate to show exactly where Real Madrid went ahead to spend that huge amount of money on the player. And there are very many worries coming in through from other people that maybe can turn out into a hazard. But nowadays, before a team goes in for you, they have to first do a thorough check about your mentality and everything. And after doing it, Jude Bellingham has obviously gone ahead to win it. I've seen him do lots of things at Real Madrid this season. He has gone ahead to score some good goals for them. He's the top scorer. They are playing him in an advanced position, and is being played as a central attacking midfielder. It shows you the qualities that this guy is obviously having. He has always been played as a number 8 and played into the double pivot at Bayern Munich and at the English national team. But he now has 5 goals and 1 assist for Real Madrid, and they are yet to play in the Champions League. And I don't know how he's going to fare. Obviously, he's going to put in those goals at the back of the net. That is Jude Bellingham for you. And that's why you saw to it that when England was playing against Ukraine and Scotland, he was not played in the double pivot. He was played as a central attacking midfielder, because Gareth Southgate saw to it that he needs him there, as Real Madrid have gone ahead to deploy him there. And you have to learn from your masters, because if Ancelotti has seen him as a central attacking midfielder, then who are you not to see him as that? So, to my own understanding, it's some good business. done by Real Madrid, and the player is yet to obviously feature in their Champions League game they're going to play this week, and wait and see how he's obviously going to do so, because at Borussia Dortmund he was really playing very well, and I just look at him as one of those players that is going to really be a player to compete to win the Ballon d'Or next year. I'm talking about this season, because the rewards for this season are going to be rewarded in 2024. So if Real Madrid happen to do well in the Champions League, maybe even lift it, win La Liga, he comes to the Europe tournament that's going to be played in Germany next year, and he does very well, he might be one of those that might contest to win it. And he's one of the surprises coming in through to compete for the heir of the throne of Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, as Mbappe and Haaland are really trying to take shape to obviously battle for it. Jude Bellingham is joining them, and he's being played in a very good position at Real Madrid. He's being played behind Valverde, Camavinga, and Tchouaméni, and he's doing the job and taking it to the levels where everyone expects him to be. And he's a talent that we have to reckon with. That is Jude Bellingham, and wait and see where he's obviously going to go. Now, let's talk about Xavi. Xavi has gone ahead to reveal Barcelona's ultimate target into the Premier League. Into the Champions League. As said, we have not won the Champions League since 2015. We have to take a step forward, and it's time to compete. Our goal is to reach the round of 16 of the Champions League. That is it. So he has said it today when he was conducting his press conference as they started all prepared to play in the Champions League tomorrow from the Belgian side. This is Antwerp. That's the team they're going to play, and he's telling us that they are aiming to go and play into the Champions League and end on the round of 16. And you know why I was going to hate to say this. Do you know why? Because he doesn't want to put pressure onto his players, because even a journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. So if they go through the group stages, something they failed to do in the previous two Champions Leagues, Xavi will know that we've gone ahead to achieve. On the round of 16, he doesn't know where the draw is obviously going to put them, right? He doesn't know where the draw is going to put them. So he just prays that they reach the round of 16, because he knows that it will be a different kind of game altogether. Maybe they'll be even able to add in more players as a team of Barcelona to obviously see to it that they obviously go further into this. But when you look at their group they're into, you don't obviously feel like they have a lot of worry that they're not going to go through, because the last group they had Bayern Munich, Inter Milan, and those two teams really failed them to qualify to that. And it obviously had to do had to do a lot with Barcelona and Bayern Munich and Inter Milan. Inter Milan and Bayern Munich are really two top players, and those players are obviously going to really take it to the next level. And as it stands, you look at their group, they're having Porto, Shakhtar Donetsk, and Antwerp. And I think this has gone ahead to do them a very good favor, because they won the La Liga, and after winning the La Liga, that has gone ahead to really throw them into the first pot, where they were really put first into there and seeded as the team to top the group. And that's going to do some good job for them. And I think they're going to go through this group because they really have the machinery to take it to the next level. So that is it all coming in from today. What do you think about Pep Guardiola hailing Doku and the two players missing out of the game, Jack Grealish and Kovacic? What do you make about it? Jude Bellingham wins the Player of the Month of August award for Real Madrid, and Xavi calling in for Barcelona players to obviously reach the round of 16. I sign out for now. See you later as I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the living true God bless you abundantly. Rokani David remains my name. The most viewers and subscribers, Barakallahu Fikum. I'm out. See you later, my mates.